This video we're taking a look at Ohio State, Texas in the Cotton Bowl, which ended up being a huge win for Ryan Day and the Buckeyes, getting to the national championship game. After the way this season's gone and kind of the ups and downs, especially over the late part of the season, this is a huge win to get to the championship and probably going to be favored by double digits against Notre Dame. So we'll see how that plays out. But real quick, going to look at some of the best plays from both teams, kind of look at the situations they were in. And right here, starting the game. I mean, first quarter, first drive, a 3rd and 2, motion in, and basically they're just running a corner. They're faking like they're running a dive here, reverse out, back to the flat. So just a smash. He's working across here. And really, the reason this is in here is just a great throw and catch. So right here, pretty good job by Ohio State playing this. You got outside leverage here. There's your flat. Linebackers flying down to it, squeezing down. They're faking that dive like they've done a couple times with that back. So right there, I think they're going to get maybe this back free with these linebackers squeezing. But a good play here by Ohio State's defense. But even with good defense, a good throw and catch can beat it. And right here, just the throw up and over and inside underneath leverage corner. And just a one-arm catch. So, I mean, really, how are you going to split the hands right here whenever it puts two hands up? Same running motion, just catches the ball with the one arm. That's a heck of a play right there by Matthew Gold. And, of course, he's injured a little bit in the game, but had a couple of really big plays as well. But right here, first big play, 3rd down conversion there for Texas. Of course, Sark starting the game off, being really aggressive. And right here, I think gets a little bit too cute with it. Motion out and start motioning back in, making it like counter. So, really, there, and then comes back, and then he works back out, and they're just running a reverse right here. And to me, whenever there's that much motion and the defense is probably kind of unsure about what's going on in front of them, it's really hard for those guys to play fast. And that's what you want them to do on a reverse. You want them to fly down on this counter, squeeze in, and then you can get out the gate right there. With all that motion, misdirection, all that stuff happening at the same time, I think that let him sit up to the outside and just let everything happen in front of him. And, I mean, they still get a pretty good play. There's that tight end who did that motion. He starts working out, trying to lead, and they do end up getting a pretty good block there by that guy, but he ends up getting the edge. About 7-8 yards on a reverse. Maybe a little bit too much going on right there. Not allowing Ohio State's defense to play fast on the reverse. And they'll be getting out of bounds after about 7 or 8. For what ended up being a pretty good defensive play there for Ohio State. 3rd and 4, and this ends up being a stop for Ohio State right here. Just a 4-3. And to me, you got your tight end over here. Somebody goes to the wrong spot. So this looks like a trap right here, doubling there. They end up doubling to the backside. This Mike is unblocked. He sets here to the 5, and then he works up. There's your kick, defensive end, basing back to the backside. So really unblocked Mike right here on a 3rd and 4. Really tough. Maybe this double team is supposed to get up to him, or maybe the tight end was supposed to go down there. ISO, leave that safety. And of course, this is Downs. He's playing over the top of Gunnar Helm right there. So he ends up blocking that guy, leaves the Mike free. And of course, you're still one-on-one right there. Of course, those linebackers going to make that play. Cody Simon, one of the best linebackers in the country, gets him on the ground before the sticks for big 3rd down. Force them into a 4th down conversion right here to keep their first drive alive. Now to the 4th down, a little bit of motion here. Motion into bunch. And, of course, looking for man-to-man. They do a great job of switching this off. And then they're getting one of their best players one-on-one with the linebackers, what they're really hoping to do, releasing right there. But instead, great coverage right here. You see how tight that is. I know this is a little bit blurry, but right there, really tight coverage, gets his arm around. Would have been a great throw and catch, really contested. So right there, defense not giving up much. Not a lot of space for those guys to make a play. In that zone coverage, they're able to switch that off. Making a big play right there for Colin Simon. 2nd big play in a row right there for Ohio State's defense. One of the best linebackers in the country. Next drive for Ohio State, and of course, very first drive for their offense. They worked the middle of the field quite a bit against Texas, especially this first drive. And on this one, looks like they're running a snag route. So you got your snag, you got a back out, you got a corner route. This guy's working to the middle of the field. And really, if you're looking at Will Howard, what he's looking at, he sees this Mike push to that snag route. Of course, that snag is wide open right here. Give it to him with that Mike pushing to it just a little bit. He's going to the flat. Now I get to the backside, you got that basic or a glance or whatever it is right here to replace that window. And right there is the window. You got to fit it in there. Throw it through windows, not over backers. And that's what they do right here. So really good throw and catch. Tight window still, but right there puts it on his body. Good timing. Mike widened just enough. Give him a chance to flip it in there to Igbuka. Big play right there inside the 10-yard line. We're on a 2nd and goal and pretty heavy personnel set. Texas stays in a 2-high look, which is pretty interesting right here on this one. You got corners and you got safeties over top, so they're pretty light in the box. They're expecting to be able to hold up. They do get a little bit of penetration right here through the A gap. Quinshon Judkins does a good job making him miss. Everybody's got a body on a body, and staying that 2-high look, those receivers slide up. They block this safety, and nobody's quick to fit into the box because they're thinking pass right here, especially with that little bit of misdirection right with the best player on the field who only had 1 reception all night, which is pretty interesting and really shows how deep Ohio State is as far as being a team. Right there, Judkins finds a way, getting back vertical against that box. It's fitting in there late and then falls forward. First touchdown right there for Ohio State, just inside zone, a little bit of misdirection. Texas staying with that 2-high look, not fitting the box very quickly. Next drive right here, 2nd and 14, and right after Quinn Ewers just walked himself into a sack, and this is just a pretty simple RPO. And right here, again, yeah, deep safety. This has linebacker shoot you're reading, just inside zone here. They got everybody taken care of in the box. If he slides in, they're just running a hitch right here. You can throw him a hitch and see what happens after that. So right there, as you see, linebacker slides in, uncovered receiver here. Get this ball out as quick as you can. Quick throw and catch right there, getting vertical. This is a great job by the receiver. As soon as he catches it, goes straight vertical, gets 14, 15 yards, and a first down right there on second 14. So that's a huge play. Just an easy read here for the quarterback. Just a little hitch read. Linebacker slides in, give it to him, see if we can get the first down. So they do right there. Great throw and catch. Good accuracy, allowing him to get up the field quickly. Sark doing a great job getting the ball to his playmakers right here. So looks like he's going to stop right here, be the number 2 receiver, and then he sprints out here, ends up being number 1 receiver, and they just throw him a screen right now. So right there, Helm does a great job. I'm taking most dangerous. Tackle, guard, they're setting, and they're releasing alley, going to the kick, going to the alley, and just getting big bodies out there in space. Running back crossing, trying to hold those linebackers for just a little bit. The end squeezing as well. Really just a token fake as he's getting the ball out. Again, upfield shoulder, putting that thing right here as opposed to here just makes the difference whenever there's a game of inches or feet or whatever you'd say. And right here, those guys are just a little bit late to it. Runs through an arm tackle. 2 big bodies out there. He actually splits them. He does have a chance to make a play, but right there, I get it. That'd be a lot to happen right there if you could split them and then also get one of the better players on Texas roster on the ground. Can't do it. Again, big play, a little bit of misdirection, motion, and going from number 2 receiver to number 1 receiver. I don't know if that had much of an impact on that play, but I thought it was an interesting look, especially maybe if you're looking to try to pick somebody off with the man-to-man. Ended up being a pretty explosive play there early in the game with that screen to Wingo, who turned it into a pretty explosive play. This is 1 of 2 times on this drive where Quinn Ewers just basically steps up into a sack. And I mean, not great awareness right here, just steps up. Pocket collapses, which obviously you love to be a little bit stronger on those edges, especially a tackle getting walked back with that bull rush. But again, you got to help him out just a little bit. You can't just step up into a sack. I know this is a 3rd and 12. In your pretty good field position right here, so you don't really want to force it. You can punt it down there and get it inside the 10, but right there, it's not great awareness. We'd love to see him just give a little bit of ground, maybe get outside the pocket, whatever you want to do. But man, we can't just step up into a sack right there and just give ourselves up. And that's the second time on this drive. 1 of the 4 sacks they had on the night, and 1 of the 2 they had on this drive right here in the first quarter for Texas. After the sack right here, Ohio State driving the football, and this is a great job by Chip Kelly getting 2 of the best players on the field. You got Judkins, you got Trayvon Henderson, 2 really good backs for him. And right on this one, just a jet sweep. Going behind, just going from a 2-back set, so you got your tight end, you got your tailback, going to a 3-back set, and they're just running outside, wide zone, that direction, hands it off. You got the Judkins leading out there on the alley player, and Judkins absolutely runs through this guy's face. Now, of course, if you're just saying, hey, you can't really target anybody, put his helmet, ground out of his helmet right in his face mask, yeah, but that's rarely called. But right there, really aggressive play, gets him on the ground, of course, up front. See what's happening right here. You got your tight end, just trying to work this outside shoulder, everybody else working up right here, and there's an interior blitz here from Texas, so perfect time to call this with that interior blitz. No chance he's going to get outside and make a play on it. Into one of your most dynamic players in space is never a bad thing. Big play right there, 20-plus yards, wide zone. Motion Henderson in from the receiver spot. Judkins leading for him. Of course, that last drive stalled. Of course, I think that is where the penalty happened, and everybody all up in arms about that with Trayvon Henderson. But anyway, looking at Texas getting the football back on their end of the field. This is a 3rd and 11, so they've already got behind the sticks, and this is just a really good pass rush. Bring in 5, and right here just a one-on-one. Wins off the edge, and then, of course, this late blitz right here from the outside linebacker. So if you're looking at it, and it ends up being a 7-man pro, it should be a lot better right here at this guard spot. It's a pretty good twist, pretty good look here from Ohio State. They end up bringing him through the A-gap, and that holds this guard just a little bit. When he slides to that A gap, he sits. This outside linebacker going through the B gap. You got the end through the C gap. So right there, really tough to pick up right here. Hopefully they'd seen this a couple times. Guard's a little bit late to get to it. Gets edged, and that's what happens right there. Gets in there, knocks the ball out there. Lucky this one to turn over right there on the 12-yard line. But again, really good look. We'd love to see these guys sort this out a little bit better. Center's got to get there so this guard feels better about this guy crossing his face, and then he's got to do a lot better job squaring that outside linebacker up. But really good call right there from Chip Knowles, heating him up right there on 3rd and 11. Tough look right there, coming away from the back, kind of overloading it. Should be picked up, just they don't make the play whenever it happens. We're going to jump ahead a little bit right here, right before halftime. And, of course, both teams exchange punts there until we get to this point. And on this, 4th and 1, of course, they bring Arch in, make it like we're about to go quarterback sneak. They snap it through his legs. Arch gets you going outside. And, of course, all it is everybody else is wedging. He's going to crack first thing, tight ends outside, and you got the back leading as well. So that's a pretty good overload right there. As far as getting bodies out there, Arch slips through, and is really lucky this wasn't a fumble. And they were just real definitive about it. I was a lot less definitive about it as I was watching it, but right there, really good call. I mean, again, looking at it, whenever you see this guy work in, a lot of times these guys are going to squeeze. Great, let's go ahead and down block. You got your tight end. You got your running back leading out there on the edge as well. A couple of big bodies out there. And, of course, big body quarterback that can run. Easy first down right there on 4th and 1. Get a little bit lucky that wasn't called a fumble. Very next play right here, motion in. Of course, this is the guy that a lot of guys are getting their eyes on whenever 2's not out there. And it looks like a scissor route or a crossing route. He goes to the flats here with Silas Bolden. This is a great job here by Ewers. His eyes are downfield to the right. He gets probably to the 3rd or 4th option right here, checks it down to Silas Bolden. And then right here, you're one-on-one with tons of space. Go ahead and make something happen. That's what he does right here. So love it whenever you make somebody miss. He's able to stay up. Great job putting his hand down and gets an extra, 10, 15 yards, getting inside the 20-yard line. So it's a heck of a play by Silas Bolden. Good job by Ewers checking down as well. Take what's there. Don't force it, even though we're inside a minute. Get your completions. Make them make plays. All right, so to draw up this entire look, looks like you got a square in. He goes out, and then he's back in. You got a corner glance, and you got what looks like he stutters it, almost like he's about to try to go back across face on a Texas route or an angle route. And then he goes vertical right there. They end up throwing that for a touchdown right here. Of course, man-to-man. That's what we're looking for. There's a lot of man beaters on this. This underneath right here could be a good man beater, but of course you want to take the shot if you can, especially at this point of the field and this time on the clock. So right there, as you're watching this running back, he's releasing. He starts stuttering his feet. He sticks like he might be going there, and then his foot race with him and a linebacker, strong safety, whatever he is. And this is a great throw right to the spot. And just outruns them. Huge stolen catch. Huge play right here before they have to tie it up. And, of course, they're picking on Sonny Styles right there, safety. And, of course, Blue's done this to a lot of good players. And, of course, the speed that he has out of the backfield to catch the football is a game changer there for Texas. So that's a heck of a throw and catch. Great play. Tying the game up right before halftime. With everything Ohio State's done, it's still a tie ball game. Obviously, until Trayvon Henderson gets it on the screen. So right here, obviously, this is a play that a lot of people are kind of questioning. Delayed blitz, late blitz. And, of course, Nick Saban said at halftime, man, whenever you're this backed up, under 30 seconds, it's probably going to be a run or a draw or a screen or something like that to try to get them started. Maybe you can get up close to midfield, maybe another completion, then you can throw it to the end zone. And right here, Texas had no clue. They are giving ground, as you see. It looks like it's going to be a one-high look. Those guys playing way off. And just this delayed blitz, like for no reason. He's getting it. You got three O-linemen getting out. And as you see, there's one kick, so they don't lose two for it. So that's a good football play right there by the center. All right, so there's the kick. He ends up leading, and he ends up pinning whatever shows up. So there's a safety pins. Everybody else they're creating a wall. And by this point, these are the safeties that are getting pinned. He's pinned out. He's pinned in. There's another lineman, another guard's out there. He's pinning whatever's showing back up. Even a guy that's not blocking anybody. And they just split it. I mean, this just happens. You can't draw that up any better. There's your tight end that's even over the top. So one of those things, this just happened to work out perfectly. There's your kick. There's your pin. And then there's another lineman even out there in front that's pinning everything from the backside. And it's just speed right there from Trayvon Henderson all the way to the end zone. Everything just worked out right here on this one. Just perfectly for this to happen. Not a great job. Them being a little bit too aggressive. And there's the line of defenders. And once that thing gets split, there's nobody left. Huge play right there for Ohio State, going up 7 again right before half with a quick screen to the running back, goes all the way to the house. This is a huge play in this game for momentum and obviously for the score as well. Of course, Ohio State gets the ball right after halftime. They scored in the half to go up by 7. Think, uh-oh, if they go down there and score, this could be an issue. They're on this one, play action. They're trying to just throw a curl flat. Looks like probably some sort of read. There's your back that you fake to getting out to the flats. Some sort of read right here, and he ends up curling it up. And Will Howard ends up forcing this ball in there. That he forced one earlier and got a completion through a defender's hand, basically. But right here, instead, Jabinda makes a good play. Just dropping right underneath the curl. Ball's thrown right to him. Good throwing catch as well. Just finishing with the football is huge right here. Big turnover with just over 13 minutes left in the third quarter. So Jabinda, huge play right there, falling right underneath that curl. And, of course, trying to get that guy involved. Jeremiah Smith only had one reception and trying to force it to him there again. Ends up being a turnover. So both teams end up punting it away in consecutive drives. So Texas got the turnover, punted it. Ohio State got the ball, punted it right here. The next drive, Ewers makes a heck of a play to keep the drive alive. Just getting the ball out of his hand right before he was down. Really not much to break down right there. Just a really good play, good awareness. And right here, it's the exact same play that they threw earlier for a touchdown. So both touchdowns were on the exact same call. Again, 3-by-1 over here. You got your square in. He goes out, then he goes back in. You got a corner. Glance, basic whatever. He's got a wheel. There's nobody right here to stutter and stick at to go vertical. So right here, he just goes right to the rail, and nobody's left. Looks like they're trying to drop a D tackle or somebody right here to it, and there's obviously no chance for a D tackle to play that. And the one high safety right here, he's rolling to the middle of the field, just playing cover one. Not sure what they're doing right here, thinking that a D tackle is going to cover the running back, or maybe somebody's supposed to peel with him, not sure. But then the other great thing, when they do get the completion, so great job here by Ewers seeing it, just give him a good catchable ball where he can make something happen, not just throwing him a balloon where the safety comes over and crushes him, is now, hey, find a way to get in the end zone. Don't let this guy tackle you. Score the ball. So right there, great job making the safety miss. I mean, not much that the guy can do. I mean, hopefully you can just slow him down enough somebody can come help. But right there, I mean, any Division I running back against any player, I think is going to make them miss with that much space. Good job right there. Again, the 2 touchdowns that Texas had in this game were on the exact same call. Very similar spots on the field as well. This time on 3rd and 7. You would think with how much Texas gets the back involved, they'd be a little bit more aware of where he was and who's going to cover him. This player here is just the same as they had earlier. They're just running that snag route, going to the flats. He's running to that basic, and this time it's a little bit different. So when he goes vertical, linebacker pushes with him. So right there, he just goes vertical with him, and it opens up that alley right there for the snag. Easy don't catch again. You want to put on that inside shoulder so he can drop step and just turn. Hopefully get you a first down. So right here, just the accuracy of the football. It's on his face mask where he can go vertical. There's the corner trying to fly in there. That linebacker had carried and taken everything vertical. Right there, easy don't catch underneath. About 10, 12 yards. Last time they had to throw that basic because that Mike had pushed to the snag. But right here on this one, it will take your very first read. Easy don't catch. Great job. And great accuracy allowed him to get upfield, getting 12 plus. 8 minutes of game time has elapsed between plays. Of course, they just keep punting. Really good defenses on both sides. But right here, we push forward right here on 3rd and 9. This is a really big play. We're running an under. These guys are running across. Some sort of basic, maybe a post, check swing right there. Everybody's getting a lot of depth, so you can throw this under right here to that tight end. That's what they end up doing right here on this one. So, tight end comes across. Can't force it downfield. It's on 3rd and 9. So right here, just take your completion. And right here, one-on-one with a lot of space. Pretty good job. He stops his momentum. Now the guy's rallying. But, man, he gets up to a 3rd and 2. So right here, I thought he was going to be down right there. It's going to be a 4th and 5, 4th and 6. But instead, he makes that guy miss, and he dives up towards the first down and turns this into a 4th and 2. So now it's one of those things. Could run the football. Could throw the football. I mean, now everything's open in your playbook. That was a huge play and a huge 5 yards to open everything else up in Ohio State's playbook for this drive. Your next play right here, 4th and 2. Just like we saw. I mean, it's a totally different ball game if you're back here on the 40-yard line. It's a 4th and 7. You're probably punting the football, or maybe you're going to have to throw it right here. Unbalanced here, tight end. You got 3 receivers over here on this side, and they just end up running quarterback power over here to the right. And, of course, when you're talking about power, he's got to work back. Gap hinge down. These guys are down. He ends up kicking right here. Running back kicks there as well. Guard pulls around. Everybody's over there towards that side, that overload side. Nobody's left over here or fitting into the box. So this is a really good job. Inside out right here on this 9 tech. Got to keep working that inside shoulder. And right here, the puller works around really for nobody because they end up, instead of washing all this stuff down, that tackle just works right up to that only linebacker in the box. Now the guard's pulling for basically the safety. And, of course, make him miss. Will Howard, Turf Monster gets you, man. Should have been a touchdown. Should have been a huge play for you. But still, I mean, 4th and 2, great conversion. Getting about 15 to 17 yards right here. Love to score. But, again, this is a great call. Great design. And then a really good job here by the O-line sorting this out. This is kind of a funky look here. Wide 5. A nose, walk down backers. They do a great job getting a body on a body because this could very easily be somebody running through. But they get it somebody in every gap. And the puller does a great job just filling in, being aggressive. Not slowing up just because you don't know what's going on. But right there, huge play right there, 4th and 2. Great conversion, quarterback run. Almost a big drive for Ohio State. Right on the goal line on the 1. Down block. They're running G lead, kick. Everybody's going to scoop here to the front side. Turn in the hand, and you got a guy leading there as well. So this is a great call. I mean, it's just one of everybody's favorite plays right here. Front side, down block. Got to do a great job right here. If you let him get in that inside gap, got to be a little bit stronger here at the point. He does give a little bit of penetration. I'd love to have our head across. Right here, guard. Get around, got to get around that. So now we can kick the widest. Then you're going to fit in for that linebacker that's going to be playing over the top. And they end up switching jobs right here. 51 gets held up and he ends up going for the linebacker. 49 goes and kicks. And now Judkins find a way to get into the end zone. Of course, this is not beautiful. It's not perfect. It's not a walk-in by any stretch of the imagination. People working over the top. That's what happens right there. But, again, that's why they pay you the bucks, man. You got to find a way to get into the end zone. That's what he does right there. Runs through an arm tackle. There's a safety or linebacker fitting over the top. Find a way to get in, even when it's a dirty run. That's what Judkins does. And that's why he's a little bit different than Travion Henderson. He's one of those bigger backs that can make things happen, especially on the goal line, and give you those tough runs like he does right here. Running through a couple arm tackles, finishing on his feet in the end zone is huge. Don't put it in the officials' hands. So I thought that was a beautiful run right there by Judkins. Of course, O-line did their thing. They took care of all the bodies and just didn't give up a ton of penetration. We're able to finish the job in the end zone right here. A huge drive for Ohio State. All right, now we're getting down to the fourth quarter. 6 minutes, 14 seconds left. And right here, huge play here. Working across this play action. Guys are going vertical, probably double post. And you got the tight end leak going to the sideline. Late release to the flats, trying to hold that. Outside linebacker. And right here, it opens up right on the numbers. So right there, Helm getting it, going vertical. Throws down Caleb Downs. And probably shouldn't point at the guy. I know by the letter of the law, they did call a lot of stuff in this game. They were pretty consistent with it. You got to know, hey, you can't sit there and do all this stuff and try to taunt. They're going to call that no matter when it is in the game. And they did it pretty consistently with a couple other things as well. So you got to be a little bit smarter right there. You can't do that and get a 15-yard penalty. But it was a good design, good play right there by Sark in Texas. Very next play after the penalty, bumped it back 15 yards, but still it's 1st and 10. And right here on this one, again, you got a bunch set. They end up running just a smash. Right there, you're getting a smash route, a little bit of a play action across. And right here, this is a heck of a throw and catch. So right there, they knew it was a one high look. You're going to get an outside leverage guy, and then you're going to get inside leverage, outrun him to the corner, and that's what they end up doing right here. This is a good throw and catch. Could put a little bit more pace on this football and keep him running, but instead he throws it up a little bit loft. He has to go up and make a play. Again, this is Matthew Golden, who's out for most of the game, but right here he comes in, a critical situation right in the fourth quarter, makes a play. We'd love to put more pace so now he can catch the football, maybe make somebody miss and score, which would obviously be huge. But here it comes down with it. Explosive play right there on a smash route out of the bunch set, getting inside the 15-yard line. Here's a look right here, just a quick RPO. They didn't do it getting called, but you got a slant. You got just basically inside zone. And on this, I kind of like, I wouldn't mind these dudes just running this every single play. I mean, you're one-on-one out here. This is a pretty good route here on the slant, trying to get it to Matthew Golden. The one thing I do have a question about is Helm right here, trying to hold up against Jack Sawyers, getting absolutely mollywalked back into the backfield. But everything else looks good. Here's Caleb Downs trying to fit inside out. But right here, they end up throwing the slant, get a PI call, and of course, there is some movement here. I mean, if this ball's handed off, I think he's got a chance to at least get down to the 1 yard line, maybe score. And of course, it's going to be 1st and goal right here because of the PI. All right, so Texas went under center, heavy set, got stopped on their 1st down. Now 2nd down, and they motion their tight end across. You got 2 tight end set, obviously man to man. These guys are staring right here. Once he motions across, he gets down into his face to mug. And right here, Caleb Downs is just a free hitter on this. All it is his truck. You're going to down block, pull the tackle for whatever shows up, taking these guys one-on-one. And the guy that's manned up is the extra hitter. And then Downs is basically free. They're trying to scoop right here, and there's nobody left right there through that B gap. This is why I really don't like pulling people, especially to the wide side. Anything that's going to take a little while to hit whenever you're playing good teams that are aggressive. And this is a great job by Caleb Downs as well, just fitting that gap. But you got to be aggressive to make something happen. He finds an open window, doesn't quite make the play, but he does slow him down enough so he can't get any momentum. And then, hey, we're just riding to the football, get him on the ground. Huge play right there. And, of course, I know Sark's probably second-guessing it. Everybody is. And you'd love to just go back and rewind. You know, being a coach has been in these situations multiple times. It's hard during the moment. You feel like you got a perfect call, and then for whatever reason it doesn't work out. And then in hindsight, you just guessing, you just question everything that happened. So right here, hindsight, he probably wouldn't want to call this, but I'm sure he felt like he was probably the best call at the time. He thought he was going to get on the edge and have a walk-in. But Caleb Downs makes a play, flies in there, negative play. Sets up a really bad field position right there on 3rd down. Try to make something happen. So 3rd down, right after that play, I think they were trying to throw something along these lines to the back shoulder, the motion here, trying to get everybody there. We just want a one-on-one. Want him to get out of the way. Want to get a one-on-one. It's just a 3-man rush, and Jack Sawyer just absolutely whips everybody for the last 2 plays. He just runs through basically a hold, gets into the face of Quinn Ewers, and just this is a guy being a really good football player, and tips the ball right there, keeps him from throwing it over here to the outside. Now, of course, I think if they throw that and it doesn't get tipped, maybe you get a PI call, maybe you catch the ball. But either way, it's going to be a lot more positive than that thing getting knocked down at the line of scrimmage. But right there, man, it's just a 3-man rush. Get beat to the inside by one of the better players in the country. We try to hold, still can't hold it, but ball gets tipped. No chance right there on that one. Here we go on 4th down. Now, of course, everybody's seen this play, but 5-man down. They're going to try to make it one-on-one. This back releases. Of course, the only touchdowns they've scored is the back releasing, so this end drops with it. But what you do get is you get one-on-ones everywhere. So this walk-down linebacker is going to be one-on-one with the guard. one with a tackle, one with a center, one with a guard, and then of course if he rushes, he'd be one with a tackle as well. So it's great to get one-on-ones. And right here, the right tackle went on with Jack Sawyer, lunging. And you see him, he's way too far back with the shoulders, and then just the lunge right there, his head gets low. Jack Sawyer just dips, rips through, and no chance right there for Quinn Ewers. Really poor rep right there on the one-on-one. You got to be a lot more patient. You can't just lunge, keep your hat out of it. But right there, unbelievable pass rush in a key situation. Then, of course, finishes with a strip sack and finishes with the end zone, with the ball in the end zone. So right there, puts the game away for Ohio State, sends them to the national championship on basically a walk-off strip sack that goes to the house by Jack Sawyer. And that was a heck of a two-play sequence for one of the better players on the defensive side in the country, making things happen there for Ohio State. If you're wondering what kind of route Texas was running, and we talked about snag earlier. So again, snag, corner, flat route. They were trying to go snag and get him to jump it, and then go vertical to the back of the end zone right there. You got a corner in right here. And that's exactly where he's looking. He's trying to pump that to the snag, get him to jump it. And when he jumps it, release to the back of the end zone, throw this thing up high, let your guy go make a play. Tons of space for the middle field. And of course, none of that matters. You can drop all the stuff you want. If these tackles are getting beat, they're too busy lunging, get beat on their one-on-ones. There's nothing that you can do and draw up that's going to be successful. So right there, huge play. Again, big touchdown for Ohio State, walk-off, going to the national championship for the Buckeyes. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching. Make sure, if you're still here, make sure you click right here. That's what YouTube thinks you like. And we'll see you guys again in the next video.